Challenge breakdown.
It's Brice and Wendell with the
Challenge
challenge
breakdown.
CBS reality royalty to be crowned.
Survivor Love Island.
Amazing race and Big Brother.
Survivor Love Island.
Amazing race and Big Brother. It's Brice and Wendell with the
Challenge
challenge
breakdown.
It's Brice and Wendell with the
Challenge
challenge
breakdown.
It's Brice and Wendell with the
Challenge
challenge
breakdown. Welcome to the challenge breakdown. It's your boy Wendeezy, aka Wendell Holland, and I am being quiet again because I just put Wendy to sleep right above me. Keep it quiet over there, Brice Isaiah. We don't need no outbursts. And I'm here with the one and only Brice Isaiah himself. Please be sure to subscribe. Y'all know I got a goal. I'm trying to hit 2,000 subscribers on YouTube. So make sure you go subscribe to the Wendell Holland YouTube channel. And if you're listening to the Purple Pants Podcast, you can find this on the Purple Pants Podcast. Wherever you stream your podcast, you can find the challenge breakdown released under the Purple Pants Podcast from Mr. Brice Isaiah. Brice, how we doing today?
I am wonderful over here in this purple network, chilling, just watching the episode, have a lot of hot takes. Glad to be back on the breakdown.
Okay.
Yeah, let's just, getting some logistics out the way because, over here we get to the logistics. We are currently on the Brice and Wendell Tour 45. We just hit New York for the RHAP welcome stop. And if you know, that a time was had and exclusively on the Wendell Holland YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe. We are releasing our Washington, D.C. flyer and announcing here on the Wendell Holland YouTube channel first our pop-up in Dayton, Ohio on
Our first topic for the season.
Our first pop-up of this season, October 25th, we will be in Dayton, Ohio. And on October 18th, we will be in Chocolate City, Washington, D.C. So make sure you stay tuned to the Brice and Wendell Present Instagram and Brice and Wendell Twitter. Click the link in our bio for more information. But listen, we're coming. It's a chicka choo choo. And I ain't talking Korean fancy. I'm talking Brice and Wendell Present. It's the BWP.
No, there's no choo-choo nothing. There's no choo-choo nothing, but we are coming to these cities. It's going to be DC. You already know. We show love in DC and y'all show love back. And for the first time, we going to Dayton, Ohio. We going to Ohio, Perp.
Yeah, I'm excited. I've been to Ohio before. Hasn't been since my Cagayan days. Actually, Ohio was one of my first reality events that I ever went to. You've been to that one. We didn't go at the same times, but you know what I'm talking about.
Cincinnati?
Cincinnati.
Yeah, that was really fun. That was a good one.
Shout out to Tasha, who throws the events.
Yes. Also, and it's going to be the Dayton event where we're doing a Real Talk panel at University of Dayton.
Oh, you're giving out exclusive.
No, I'll put too much information out there. And so yeah, that means we are bringing some special guests to the Real Talk panel. Real Talk panel, we have space for like 250 plus there.
I think it might be 3. I think there has been a correction in the group chat. 350 plus.
Did Mertz text you? Jefford, you know what? Thank you, Mertz. Wow. Brice, I don't know. Our Real Talk panels are usually intimate. I mean, Toronto was packed out, but we'll see. It's something we're working on. So we'll have that for all those people in Ohio, and we will release the audio and the video in due time. Anyway.
I saw somebody on the Survivor News comments, and I know I see this person in the challenge breakdown comments. They said, I'm coming to Ohio. They even said they was cooking. So I said, okay, sis, what you cooking for us? Okay, because I likes to eat. So, and she a member of the PPP. She a member of the posse. So we see you out there.
Okay. Hey, we gonna eat. So whatever you got cooking, we gonna eat it. Okay.
Now let's get into this breakdown. We are returning back to the house with Chris coming off of his fourth,
Whew.
okay, third consecutive, what you call them, eliminations?
Elimination win.
Eliminations, his fourth, but his third consecutive. And if we remember correctly, from the slip and slide episode, we
Get
can't
this
just
off
let
of
these, we
this was
can't,
not this wasn't even in the episode,
but we
Bryce.
can't let the greatness go. I mean, we can't.
Bryce, get go ahead, Bryce. Go ahead. Finish your little sentence.
Okay. Okay. Just reminding the viewers if you didn't watch last week's, okay. Uh, Corey won, and Chris is coming back into the house, and he is excited, right? He is feeling um glad that he was able to win. And baby, when I say we get right into the mix, we get right into the mix. It is Chanel and Desi talking about figuring out where was that third vote on Tory. They come to the consensus that it's Michelle, and pop up. Who comes in the room? It's Michelle.
She had a
And
sensor. So she knew Michelle has something about her that
she know when to pop up.
if someone is talking about it, Michelle gonna sneak up in there and say and get right to it.
And I have to take my hat off to my girl Nelly Chanel, because in these type of situations, like when you are going back and forth with somebody, Chanel was pulling out the receipts. Chanel was saying all of the things in which that you say to the people, like, girl, what's up with you? Like, that's highly sus. Like, what are you doing? And shout out to my girl Shelly, right? Because I feel like, as dishonest as Shelly has been, right? She has been 100% honest to the Michelle game, right? So it's like, no, but I mean, like, we know, like, us as viewers, we
Oh
know
yeah.
which way Michelle is going. And the way that Michelle is going is whatever way gets her another day. And that's a respectable game in the challenge house, right? However, to someone like a Desi and to someone like a Chanel who ultimately put their vote on Tory, and they had an alliance with Tory. Although Michelle had an alliance with Tory too, Chanel, although Michelle was like, I ain't breaking my alliance. I don't care what y'all said. And if the ringer was ringing for Michelle, the ringer was ringing for Tory, because Tory popped up in the room and said, "What's going on? Y'all,
Let's take
y'all
it back.
trying to talk?" And I think that Tori did a great job of, there's sometimes, right, when DZ, if you and I argue, and I know I'm right, right? Like, you hate an I told you so person, right? So sometimes it's like, if I'm like, Wendell, the card that I'm holding is green. And you're like, no, it's red. No, it's red. And sometimes I don't even say that. I'm going to just pop up in the room like, and that's enough said, right? I feel like Tori popped into the room. She ain't point too many fingers, but I feel like the simple presence of her joining the conversation is like, Desi, Chanel, y'all did me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Michelle, you over here apologizing, but you ain't write my name down. But I feel like it's something sus in that in itself. But again, I just felt like Tori didn't really bring much to the conversation. She just made it sometimes, and I'm the king of making ish awkward, right? Like, sometimes it's like you just gotta add that rah,
She stepped in there and her presence was felt.
right. And even Desi was crying, because Desi's like, I'm not this type of player. Like, I don't lie, I don't deceive. However, my alliance was like, this is the way that we're going. And true to my alliance, I'm going to move the way that I move. And she was backdoored, and not even really backdoored, but it wasn't a united front.
And
Now,
whose idea was it to put those votes in that direction?
Michaela.
It was Michaela's idea?
Michaela been running this thing. I don't know if it was it, but I'm just gonna say it's Michaela
For some
because
reason, I
Michaela.
thought it was Fitzgerald. I thought it was Michelle that was like, "We'll put the votes on Tori," but it was Michaela.
I think because
But
Michaela
no,
been Survivor
but
Strong. Maybe
yeah,
you're right
but who?
because Michaela was
Okay,
rooting for
regardless.
Rose.
Okay, regardless. Michelle was supposed to vote with them, and it ended up not. And then this was the backlash. Okay.
And then we get a scene with Josh, Corey,
Yes.
and Bananas. And here is something that, Josh, I'm going to start my ish Martinez all season, has been such a theatrical player, right? Like, I've enjoyed his style of gameplay. I think that he has been amazing. He start his ish, he play his games, he do what he has to do, right? And I enjoy it. And like I've said, time and time and time and time and time and time again, I enjoy this Josh, right? So make
Sure.
sure y'all tag him in that.
Nah. They gonna tag the spiciness. So
I
after you say you enjoy it, what
I
you got?
enjoy it. I love it. Like I think that Josh is like built for the challenge. And I think that in this scene when he was talking with my man Corey and Bananas, it made me realize that like this is the furthest Josh has ever gotten in a challenge. Right? And so like for me, all of a sudden, this kind of like the Josh that's like calling people out and making good TV that like some people are calling messy, but like I enjoy to watch it. That's why I love it. It then kind of sort of like humanizes Josh for me. And Josh is talking about his family, his father back in, I'm not sure if he said Cuba.
Cuba. He said
Right.
he's from Cuba, yeah.
Right. And like his family is cheering and rooting for him. And I'm just like, you know what? It just kind of like, is this Josh's season? Right? It could Josh could is this like again, I feel like he is playing the game that needs to be played. He's making the right type of like I mean, I'm just saying, for me, seeing this scene of Josh kind of sort of humanized him a little bit for me. I already love Josh, but it just kind of reminded me they were showing the scenes of him getting up in Fessy face. Like Josh been ready to start some ish Martinez for a long time. And again, this is the farthest he has made it in his challenge career.
Josh gets better every season. Josh gets better at the game every season. And he gets better at understanding what he needs to do to make good TV, I'd say, but also in working the politics of the house and managing his Josh is going to cry a lot during the season, but he manages his emotions as far as his outbursts. Now it's like he's going to get in a fight with Fessy every season, whatever their besties, but he's so good at the political game. Um, and again, I almost, bro, why you put Corey on the screen, Josh? Take
Because he had
Bryce.
because he had a confessional during this.
Well, yeah. So what I will say, I've said this time and time again, and we've heard it in the challenge. Like Wes has said it, like, I'm not targeting you, Josh, because I want to run a final against you. So I think you combine people desiring to run a final with him, but also him having all the friends in the house, and that should be a recipe for him to get far in the game. Um,
And we see on his social media, this is probably Josh's first challenge where he is fit for the challenge, right? Like we've been following Josh on his fitness journey for this past year and a half, and Josh looks amazing. He's his physically fit he's ever been. So yeah, again, I just felt like watching this edit and seeing that it kind of just sort of like I think sometimes we think with a player like Josh that it's all game and strategy and not like heart or anything else. And for me, like just that little snippet for me was like it just reminded me that like Josh is playing for a lot more than what sometimes people give him credit for, and for him to have made it thus far, I kudos to my Joshy.
Make sure y'all send that clip to Josh.
And then we get one of my favorite moments of the season is Desi and Chris. Now, mind you, I know a lot of people in this house, you know. However, I would think the closest two people that I have that I would consider friends in this house are Desi and Chris Underwood. You know, Chris Underwood and I are in a
He doesn't
polyamorous relationship with his
like you.
wife, Kate. Kate is my
He's not your
sister wife
friend.
and our daughter, Margot. And
They don't like you.
Desi happens to be one of my BFFs. And at this point, Desi is feeling like I am effed in my alliance with Tori.
Mhm.
I can't trust Michelle anymore. So like she's adding two more people to her hit list. And so instead of adding two more people, like let's kind of balance it out. And she goes and checks on Chris, which I also think is interesting. Like while all of the guys are out there with Josh, Peaches, Corey, Fessy, like Chris is just by himself. He just ran his third consecutive elimination and like is feeling it. And Desi kind of just pops in just to give him a hug and just to let him know that like I got your back. Right. And I don't know if this is a little foreshadowing for the later in the episode, but I love to see this Survivor Strong Alliance, especially from probably my two closest friends in the house. So I love to see it.
Great gameplay from Desi. If ever there's an opportunity to extend an olive branch to someone, do it. And in this case, Chris is a beast. He's winning everything, and he's alienated in the house. None of the guys rock with him. They keep throwing him in. So hey, Desi, you're in a power alliance. Why not extend an olive branch? You see this guy, he's doing well. He's gonna keep, getting thrown in there. So why not reach that olive branch out? Similar, I guess, to we saw it in Survivor when Caleb just reached an olive branch out to Emily. It's like
Emily.
when somebody's ostracized, now is the prime time to make yourself another ally.
Well, if I ever get the chance to be in the same place,
Corey does
same.
not want you as
Okay, somebody ostracize me. Okay, somebody ostracize me in front of Corey so that can solidify. But anyway, also real quick on the update of the updates of the updates, since I mean the
he
subject
did
is
not
heat.
follow you.
So Corey has not recognized me yet on the Instagram, which is fine. We're working up there, but I did go through my Twitter the other day, and my Twitter said, "Bing, a new follower." I said, "Who is this new follower?" I said,
He did not follow you on Twitter.
"Oh, it's Corey on the Twitter." I had to call. I text Wendeezy. I said, 911, 911. When DZ calls me back, I was like, "What's going on? What's up? What's wrong?" I said, "Corey just followed me back," and Wendell hung up on me. So,
Uh,
just
we don't believe you until you show us the receipts, Perp.
just hold on. Listen, just know that Corey, wow, like my friends and family say in the NOLA, uh, hold on. Let me just see. Can I cause it's
Exactly. Corey
hold on
didn't.
now, 'cause y'all not gonna call me up, up,
Go ahead.
up. Can we see? Does it say? Up, can you
It's,
see it? Follows each other. Okay, listen. Corey, if you try, listen.
uh,
Corey, if
that
you love me, just say that. Just
that's
say that.
that's
Okay.
Photoshop, Bryce. He
It's
didn't
not
follow you.
it's not photoshopped. So also shout out to Corey. One step. Okay, we got the Twitter. Okay, Twitter for anybody, but
He's
let's
not.
let's get it down to the Instagram
He's not.
and into the telephone number. Okay. Okay. You got to see it to believe it.
He
So
does. Anyway, we
so
have an
Posse,
episode.
we got to do our work
No,
on the Instagram. Okay. We got to say, listen, Corey, why aren't you following Bryce yet?
oh my gosh. No, we don't. Anyway,
Then we get to the challenge, brain squeeze. And of course, we get to see the people. And of course, shout out to the Wendell Holland subscribers that be in the comments. Y'all want to see, okay, this is definitely TJ.
Is it?
I think so. I mean, it is giving it's giving Urban Outfitters, but this is definitely TJ. You could tell by the freshly ironed collar. It's littler than TJ normally has. Normally TJ's collars be collaring. Okay, you think it's Thanksgiving the way them collars be collaring like collard greens. But it's a nice little shirt. We see his biceps. Look like TJ ready to run a challenge.
Oh, Brice, this actually looks like a shirt that TJ found in Bryce Isaiah's closet.
It is actually a shirt that I probably will wear. So
Mhm,
TJ is getting better, or his people are actually listening to the challenge breakdown, so they know what we expect from a TJ.
mhm.
And this challenge is great. It reminded me of Challenge USA season 1 when they were in the stadiums. And they had to run on the chairs in the stadiums. And I believe Danny might have won this. And I almost believe Dom might have assisted Danny in winning this challenge. This is what this challenge kind of sort of reminded me of, where it was kind of sort of a dark castle and there were puzzle pieces. Some say there were 7, some say there were 8 puzzle pieces scattered all throughout this castle. You might have to climb through some deep,
Okay.
dark
Okay.
tunnels.
Go on.
I'm just saying, I know of a deep,
No, no, Bryce, I will leave this.
dark
I will leave.
tunnel.
I
And
will leave.
I'm just saying, I am just saying,
No.
you asked me to moderate.
Yes.
I'm just moderating what
No.
I see.
You need supervision.
I'm just saying, I know of a deep,
Bryce,
moist,
no.
tight.
You're gonna lose half of our listeners with that word moist. People don't like that
How?
word.
They were sweating.
No.
I just know of a tunnel that needs to be
Bryce,
polished.
no. Okay. Leave it alone. I hate you.
Well, I don't understand how I don't know how I got there. I don't understand how me talking about the challenge and that there are people had to climb through
Bryce.
moist places.
Bryce.
Okay. All right. I guess I can't describe how I feel.
You disgust me.
So I thought the challenge was great because it had the puzzle aspect, it had the kind of searching through a castle, it also had the not adrenaline, endurance aspect of it.
Yeah.
And Chris was killing it. But I also have to say, I really felt like Fessel was, again, maybe I'm just a Fessel fan.
We
But I felt like every time Fessel was killing it. Like he was out running, doing his thing. I'm like, shout out to you, Fessel. Bananas was killing it. Um,
This is
this
a challenge
challenge,
for Fessel.
right?
It's one of his. Yeah.
1,000%. And again, Michaela is so survivor strong that Peaches
She
just
sabotaged his behind.
but also it's just like, Peaches was like, is that one? Michaela was like, it's one, right? That's it. Then she found the 8th one. And clearly she spread the word to her survivor ladies, because as Chris was going back in the tunnel,
Okay.
she said it's 3 more back there. Now, mind you, let me tell you the way that I gagged when they were putting those pieces together. And I was like, shout out to the MVP Michaela here. They was like, Chris was getting his bag. Chris was like, This is my eighth bag. Fessel and Banana said, 8? Okay. 8? 8? Fessel was like, what?
Oh,
And so I love a challenge like this. How do you think that you would fare in a challenge like this, Wendell?
I think I would do pretty good at the puzzle, and I think I do pretty good at the running. I just my thing would be if I was listening to the homies and I thought it was 7, then I'd be up there struggling with 7. I absolutely.
I
But I'm a
almost
survivor, so maybe my survivor people would have told me that there are 8.
maybe not. I wonder if would it and I'm assuming that the rules of this, like you can only carry one bag at a time, but I'm wondering, like, does it behoove you to scour the castle first? Like,
Mm.
probably not, right? But I'm just thinking, like, if you just get a lay of the land, but again, that would probably like take up too much time. But I'm just thinking of like, what's the hack here, right? Or there really is no hack, or is the hack strength in numbers?
Yeah, the hack is having allies, and it's also searching the whole castle.
Oh,
If you see a hallway that goes further than the bags in front of you, you gotta go to the end of the hallway. It's
so you
be
said,
no, 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 no. It's just
but
being diligent.
so you're saying you got to go down those deep dark crevices.
No, because for no, no.
So you
Now,
only want 7 bags.
I will take 7 bags and be fine with it.
Okay, because
Because I don't wanna hear you narrating about no damn deep, deep, dark, moist tunnel. No, none of that. Leave it alone.
Whew.
So anyway,
But you saw Chris got the 7. You saw Chris got the 8th bag, though.
yes, he did. He doesn't like you.
Chris
So
loves me.
he does not like you. So Chris wins, and who else wins?
What do you mean? Who else wins? Chris and Desi both win, which is like I feel
So
like this is a great win for Desi. I feel like okay, let me find out. Or and at this point in time, my eye are on if
what?
Chris and Desi run the final, right? Because my mind of who I want to win has changed dramatically throughout this episode, right? And so at this point in the episode, I'm like, I can get behind a Desi and a Chris. Also, shout out to Michaela because first of all, she's in every shot because she needs to be because she's the MVP here. Because I really feel like Michaela won because Michaela's whole purpose to be out here is one, Survivor Strong, two, to get Tori or Michelle. And so I feel like Michaela is in this win with us.
Yeah.
And so it's great to see that, again, Desi, Chris, and Michaela are coming back into the house after they win. And Michaela must have knew that it was about to be showtime. Because after everyone gets back and to celebrate they win, Michaela is in the room. And first of all, how I knew something was going to go down. First of all, when Michaela have that plate of food, you know it's about to go down. So Michaela is in the room with Bananas and Josh. And she's talking about how she wants it to be a Women's Day. And Bananas is like, well, surprise, surprise. We want it to be a Women's Day too. So how great could that be? And Michaela is like, I needed to be Michelle. I wanted to be Michelle. She lied to the girls like she's playing this double anti game. We needed to be her. And Wendell, do the doorbell for me.
Ding dong.
Michelle enters. Bro. Now listen,
Uh,
say what you want about Michelle, whether if you like Michelle, whether if you hate Michelle, whether like whatever it is that you want. But the one thing that I respect and love the most about Michelle is tell me a time that she has backed down from an argument. Okay. Michelle is here for it. And another reason why Michelle is great at these games, because it's like sometimes I feel like in like the challenge house is if you let things fester, if you let things run, you let these rumors run wild and you don't say anything, that's almost worse than actually checking it. So sometimes it's like you gotta go and get in the fire. And so she goes and has it out with Michaela. What's your thoughts on Michaela versus Michelle?
I think I respect Michelle. She's tough. Like she's not scared of a verbal altercation. I got respect for it because some people will just go cry in their room, but Michelle will walk right in and start unpacking things.
And they were definitely going in. And I also have to say, Fessel was me because if I hear some hot, juicy gossip, what? Okay. Fessel was tuned in. My baby daddy was listening because at this point, they're giving up a lot of their game. They're giving up a lot of things that, like, I think at this point, like, maybe Fessel, maybe Chris, maybe Bananas, maybe Josh, they all suspected, but like, they're going back and forth. And Michaela essentially is calling Michelle out like, girl, you've never really been with us, right?
Mhm.
And so then Michelle is calling Michaela out like, girl, you're the most unhinged in this house. And then Michaela's like, well, girl, who's unhinged now? And then Michelle is like, it's not me. Michaela's like, girl, close your eyes. Now, girl, when she said close your eyes, she said, who's getting red in the face? Michelle said, I get red when I talk. Michaela said, not that red. Michelle said, well, you're too much. Michaela said, but not today. Michelle said, well, what about tomorrow? Michaela said, see you on Friday. Michelle said, you don't want this. Michaela said, but I'm eating.
Uh,
I
what did
mean,
Michelle said something about I may be a mess, but I'm not a villain or something.
yeah.
They were
Then
calling her Michelle down.
she was like, but you're having a Michelle down. Then
Oh,
Michelle was like, at least at least I got something named after me. What you got? Girl, that's what I'm gonna start using. I'm gonna start using that on people. You having a Michelle down.
I
But
listened to I listened to the other challenge podcast, the one with Tori and Devin,
mhm.
the official challenge podcast, and Michelle was on there, and she's like, "Yeah, you can call me Michelle down, or you can call me Mess Shell."
But own it,
Yeah,
right? And sometimes you need a little Michelle down.
yeah.
However, I will say this, right? I thought that, like, I'm sure as everyone else, like, okay, I was fessy the whole time. Uh, but kudos to Michaela, right? We've seen Michaela in a couple of arguments, a couple of disagreements throughout this season, as some of them, Michaela maybe not come off the friendliest, or maybe it's like, oh, why are you being so cold? However, I thought the way Michaela handled herself in this challenge, I mean, in this Michelle down was amazing. Like, I just felt like she was poised. Okay, Josh was there, Peaches was there. First of all, do you
Oh,
expect where else would you expect Josh to be though, right? Like, not only is Josh in the room, right? Josh got front row seats,
or
right?
she
But we know that Josh really has a lot of respect and admiration for Michelle. So it's like he doesn't really like to see this, but also at the same time, we know that like Josh's motives in this might have a little more stake in it, although we haven't gone to the elimination yet. But I mean, it would behoove Josh to entertain this, because then it's like, oh, then maybe the ladies need to go. And if the ladies have a go at it, then it's not a men's.
So, is this before the nominations?
It is before the nominations, but I'm just saying at this point, right? The only person that's safe is Chris. Or the only male that is safe is Chris. So I'm saying that, like, although like Josh is in this, but like this intel that Josh is getting, like, only kind of like heightens the fact that, like, yeah, like, let me take this intel, and it's like the ladies need to go at it. It needs to be a ladies' day, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. You're right. So we have a Michelle down. We have Bananas and Josh with the front row seats. Michelle's out of there.
Michelle out of there. She said, but your face is getting red. My face gets red when I talk. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
why'd you have
maybe
to say your face is getting red?
close your eyes a little bit, because it looked like you having a Michelle there. Okay. They were eating each other up. Okay. Like,
Yes.
they were eating each other up.
Yeah.
And then we get to the elimination.
No, we get to the nomination.
Nominations for the eliminations.
The nomination.
And they talk about the ladies first. But before we get into that, the first person, do you know the first person that Chris wanted to take off the table that was safe in his book?
Somebody that doesn't know you and doesn't like you.
Okay. We had to clear things.
Oh my gosh.
Chris said Corey was good at his book. That ain't no fluke. Okay. I'm good with Desi, I'm good with Chris. Of course, my people gonna be good.
Did you put in a call for that?
I'm just saying, if my peoples is my peoples, and if my peoples is cool with your peoples and your good peoples is my peoples, then you know Corey's saved.
So you called Chris and said, "Hey, keep Corey out. Keep Corey out of the elimination."
I didn't call anybody. I may have gotten calls from Croatia while I was home in Philadelphia. Yes, that is true. We didn't talk about the game at all, but my phone rung several times from Croatia.
From where? My phone rung several times from Carisha. So, Brice, I got a question before we even jump into the noms. Every time Michaela was the nominator, she was so hyped to nominate who?
She wanted Tori.
Every time she was safe. She ain't safe this time. Now all of a sudden she don't want Tori. Talk about it, Brice. I'm just saying. I just
Your face
came
is getting red.
to So here's another thing.
But regardless of what you are implying,
Go ahead.
it's smart logic for me.
Oh, it's very smart. She not trying to when she's safe, she wants someone else to get in there and go after Tori. Yeah, let's see Desi and Tori. That'll be great TV, right? I
Here's the
got
thing.
I got Desi winning that.
Oh, well, I
But
have, my money on Desi. All that. Here's the thing, right? I think that Tori is a beast,
straight up
undoubtedly, right? She won her first challenge right before this. However, I also think that there is, and I've never met Tori before, and I love Tori, but I'm not saying this specifically about Tori, but I think that there is the boogeyman effect, right? Where it's like, boogeyman, 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 don't come out. Like, sometimes we are more scared to look under our bed for the boogeyman because the boogeyman has this name, right? And Tori is another human being. She eats, she urinates, she defecates like any other human being. I just think because she has showed out when it's time to show out, that now she has this boogeyman effect on her, that like everyone is so scared. But in reality, I really feel like Anybody could see her, right? Like,
She likes
but
to be
I'm not taking away that she's not a threat, that she's not. But I'm just saying that, like, I think the aura that comes with her from just winning the challenge, just winning the first two individual eliminations, going down there and smacking
John.
homegirl Janaya like that, like it helps her, right? And I feel like, again, she has won when she needed to win, and now she has created this like
It's an aura, it's a mystique, but also you have it's a totality of the circumstances. You have all of that, and you have her being so connected to people. So yeah, it's there are a lot of things. She's connected and she's protected. And because of that, she's gonna be neglected out of this vote right here.
okay. But also I feel like, however, right? So cuz I don't know, right? Because if say Michelle stuck to the plan and we still had a guys day, right? Like, I am curious because now I feel like Desi might want to get on that Michaela train and throw Tori down, right? Like, because hey, however, being as that, like, Michelle kind of like defaulted on that plan, it only made her a more a luminous target for us uh to tag in. But one thing we do know, Corey ain't going in.
Take him off of the screen, Bryce Isaiah. One thing we do know is it's time for the elimination.
So before we get to the elimination, so they come to the conclusion to vote Josh and to vote Michelle.
I have
We
words. I have words,
Oh, okay.
Bryce.
Use your vernacular.
First and foremost, I find it coincidental,
Okay.
or I I find it something that remember the two players that I compared to
Mhm.
one another. Remember that, right?
I
And now we ha-
remember.
and now we and now we have a whole disclaimer at the beginning of the challenge breakdown. But I
Oh,
find I find it now that those two players are up. They're on the chopping block at the same time. Interesting, right? But also, I want to unpack this Josh nomination a little bit, Bryce.
okay.
Why did your sister wife, Chris
Now that's
Underwood?
my husband.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get the terms right.
His wife is my sister wife. We
Hey,
have the same husband that is Underwood, and I birthed our child, Margot.
understood. So, what is your husband's
Mhm.
thought process in nominating a Josh?
So I have two thoughts, right?
Break it down.
First thought is, who is making this decision with Chris? Hello?
I just
Desi.
got I just got an unbelievable text message. Anyway, I'm sorry from Russell Hantz. Anyway, an unbelievable text message. I'll read it to you afterwards. Um, unbelievable.
That's random. Um, who is making this elimination decision with Chris? Desi, right?
Yes, yes.
And if we are making it to the final,
Uh-huh.
who would you think that Desi would want to run a final with? Fessy or Josh?
Bessie.
Okay, so there's one thought process to it, right? Like, it behooves Desi. Also, I believe that Chris has said that, like, he wants to get at Fessy, but he wanted to kind of like knock Fessy down a bit before he got to him. Is that somewhat what he said? And we know that Josh and Fessy are really good friends. So maybe that's one notch at him. Also, we know that Chris and my love, Corey are really good friends. And maybe Corey could have put a nod in for him to be like, don't just target Fessy just yet.
Okay.
So I feel like there are a lot of different like things that are at play that like, but of course, yes, that could be the easiest thing for him to target a Fessy. But also, Chris could be looking at it like, who has won the most individual eliminations thus far?
Chris.
Besides Chris?
Fess. Oh, you're talking about individual. Okay. Nah, Fess won the most.
And so
Chris,
maybe Chris is like, well, damn it, if I don't win next week,
Fess could get me.
he could get me, but maybe he would be like, well, wow, Chris really was that guy. And the time that he could have got me, that like maybe he won't nominate Chris.
Right. Right. Okay.
So it's a political move all a way around. I think the easiest move for Chris would have been to like nominate a festival, right? But I also think that like it will lead more to like, why didn't you nominate me?
Right. Right. I'm with you on those reasons. Um I all I also think, well, one thing that I heard on the other challenge pod from Michelle was that if they want it to be a women's day, you nominate a Josh who's connected with everyone and protected from every which way, so
Mm,
that you know it's not even going to be a men's day.
mm.
So that's one other explanation. And then I'd say another explanation. I just think there are so many smart ways that as to why he nominated Josh. Because, like, first of all, Josh ain't going in there because he's so protected. But also, if he nominates anyone else, like say he nominates Fest, Fest goes down there and wins and comes back. Now he got a target on him, right? Say he nominates Bananas. Bananas can go down there and win. Now he got a target on him. Corey, I think Josh is one of the people that you can nominate. And even if you have to go down, even if like one random ball is pulled out of the hopper, who's Josh going to see down there? Fess? Bananas? Corey? It's going to be an uphill battle for Josh to even get out of there if he's down there, right?
Yeah, but I still don't underestimate a Josh. But I mean that makes a lot of sense to me. However, and also maybe could explain this next series of things where I felt like maybe this is a moment where I thought like Josh was about to blow up, right? Like the first, like, and I really felt like I again am like, are we seeing the evolution of Josh? I really love the fact that like he came back, dinner time is when people most turn up, and Josh is like, you gotta go in when you gotta go in. I know my name is like I expect it. Like, so it's like now it's time to do work. And I was like, yes, Josh. Like, I don't know. Like that just really energized me with Josh, right? Because it's like we know Josh can start some Ish Martinez. It don't take him much. And I really liked at this moment, he was like, if I gotta go in, I gotta go in. I'm just saying. And while who was at
I'll
the
play
table with
devil's
him?
advocate. I'll play devil's advocate. That's easy to say when you're the most protected person in the house.
But still, I disagree with that, right? Because I feel like you can still be the most protected person in the house, but your name going on them balls
Whoa.
means a good time. No, but I'm just saying, when your name is nominated on them balls, it don't ask Cassidy, right? It doesn't matter. Like there's still like there is still a possibility that you are going in, right? And so like I just felt like Josh could have flipped out, but he didn't. Then we get this scene with Josh going to check in on Michelle. He's letting Michelle know that it's her. And, Michelle doesn't have a Michelle down, but she is essentially saying to Josh, like, I love you. I don't want it to be you, but clearly I have to put a male name in the hopper because I don't want it to be me. But also Michelle reckons that like she's burnt her bridges with Desi, with Chanel, with Michaela. So she also realizes it. Now, this is also where I feel, and I don't mean to laugh, but I feel bad for like, now how did I get in it? Cassidy, right? Like, because it's like essentially
Cassidy's just she's the scapegoat. Like everyone is
right.
gonna she's the person that like when everyone else had Desi, Chanel, Michaela, they're tight. You know, Tori is tight with the vets. You know, Michelle's tight with the vet. Like Cassie's kind of like a lone wolf, kind of like Underwood, and very sadly, they're gonna keep throwing her in. She's been proving herself. I'm Team Cassidy over here. She's been like she's trust like she goes down there and does work.
She's built for tough. Uh we get this scene of Fessel, uh, Corey, and Josh, and Fessel is just like, I don't know why it's not me. Like, I threw these shots at him. I'm genuinely confused, bro. It's not me. But again, shout out to my man Josh, because I felt like again he took this and was like, I'm ready to go. And you know, my man Corey was right there, like, it ain't me. And then we get down to the secret vote. Everybody is voting for who they want to vote for.
Yeah.
And as you know, we getting ready to go down into the elimination. Shout out to Corey.
Yeah. And Corey did nothing in this episode, my
You're
man.
I'm so here's the thing, right? Like
No.
I'm really starting to feel
What? What?
like,
What?
do you have a problem with Corey?
No, I got a problem with you.
Like, cause it just seemed like you keep this and that and this and that. Like, okay, Corey on the show, so we gonna see Corey.
He was not in the episode for a single second this
Oh
episode.
my God, stop disrespecting my man. Anyway, we get down to the challenge, and guess who is down there waiting for us?
Who is it?
Tyreek. Okay. Tyreek made an appearance again. He
Uh,
said salam alaikum to all my good people in the world.
oh,
And mind you, this is a good look for Tyreek right here. He got his Carhartt jacket on that I feel like fits him appropriately. He got his Scully on. He got his cart behind him that has the bean pies, oils, that has the scarves, the bags, and
newspapers.
newspapers. You know, feel like he's saying, "What's good, ma? What's
uh,
popping?
all right.
You
All
need
right.
one of these joints." You know, that's what Tyreek is giving us this episode. And again, shout out to Tyreek, aka JT, aka TJ, for always giving us the latest and the greatest on the fashions. And you know, he's versatile. Okay, he's living in a verse world. He is giving versatile vibes. Perfect.
Okay.
Then Chris and Desi are safe this go round. Now, although Desi is my girl, Chris is my man, I am a little disappointed by their matching outfits because you know in past people they be coming like with the matching leathers, with the matching white, Fessy threw on the all white. You know, normally it's a very coordinated, like nice little thing. Now Desi is my girl, Chris is my man, so I guess Desi was like, well, listen, I got a beige hat. Chris was like, well, I got a tan like suede jacket. Destiny's like, well, I got a maroon hoodie. Chris is like, I got a maroon V-neck. So, you know, but listen, shout out to them because they're my people. You know, I love me my Desi, I love me my Chris. And so Josh and Michelle make it down. Bump, ba bump, 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 ba bump. bump, it's the hop. Ba-bump, bump, it's the Ba-bump, bump, it's the hop. Ba-bump, burr, it's the Ba-bump, bump, it's the hopper, 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 hopper. Ba-da-da-da-da. Let's see these votes, TJ. Okay.
Wow.
First of all, I'm gonna go
He
easy.
deserved it.
I'm gonna go
He
easy on.
deserved it.
I'm gonna go easy
He
on
deserved it.
Michelle. I'm gonna go easy on Michelle because I know that came from Michelle and Shelly. I'm gonna have to text you after this because not too much on my man. We get to see the votes. Corey, 1 vote. Chanel, who you think put a vote on Chanel?
I don't know who did it.
I don't know. I was just trying to think. Like, is it Tori?
Was it Cassidy?
Oh, that's probably Cassidy, but maybe. And then Cassidy just bum, 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 bum. Cassidy gets all of the votes. So Cassidy, at this point, should we call her? Should it be Crassity? Chris and Cassidy? Like, should we just name them one like Coracity? Like, I feel like that should be their name because they are elimination tested, right? Because it's either it's 1 out of 2 chances it's going to be Crassity going
Let's
in.
call it Chrisity.
Chrisity.
Because
What's wrong?
Crassity.
I like Crassity. What's wrong with Crassity?
Crassity. Chrisity. I don't know. Go on, Mr. Crassity.
I like Crassity. So it is Michelle and Crassity, and they are Hot Wheel. Now, I feel like my initial watch of this, I was like, oh, this is like not even a physical aspect. This is like the way so let me see if I have a image to show y'all. So there is this container. It's purple. There's yellow, and it's almost like an archway. And on the archway, there are little popper bags that are yellow, purple, yellow, purple, yellow, purple, yellow, purple, that they all have a fuse on them. And you, on the opposite end, control a wheel that has a flame. Okay. And your job is to turn the wheel, Wendell.
Yes.
Turn it.
I'm turning it.
So when Wendell turns it, okay, but I also can turn it. So now it is, we got to fight to turn it and then pop the things. Now, when I first watched this, I was like, I thought that there were multiple burners, right? Like, I thought it was just I didn't realize that it's like you're now fighting the other person to not only get the flame to where you need to get it, but if it's near where Wendell has it, I can like try to fight it to get over. So it's a lot going on.
Yeah, it's a fight.
It's a fight. And so I was like, oh, baby. And then I think Chris is the one that called it, where it's like, I guess Crassity and Michelle were like equally yoked, like same kind of like height, same weight class. And it was an interesting fight.
Yeah, that makes for a good battle when you're like, similarly statured.
And Cassidy got her first bag popped. Shelly got another one popped. And it seemed like then it's almost like a tug of war, but with a car wheel.
Yep.
And it seemed like Michelle kind of sort of gassed out. And also, shout out to Michaela again, the MVP of this episode, because Michaela was like, Cassidy, get low, turn to the left, to the window, to the wall, to all them jaws pop, pop, to all them jaws pop, pop, hey, to the window, to the wall. To all ski ski. To all ski ski. Get low. Get low. Get
Get
low.
low,
Get
get
low.
low,
Get low.
get low,
Get low.
get low.
I don't know the rest of the song. What? Give me a verse. Is it the year?
369. Damn it,
Hey,
one
one
more
more
time. Get
time.
low. Get low, get low, get low, get low, get low. To the window. I gotta be quiet because Wendy's upstairs. To the wall. To the
Oh.
skate, skate,
To all ski ski.
skate, skate, god damn. Skate, 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 god damn.
Okay. It was a battle royale. And shout out to Coach Michaela because she was definitely up in there coaching. And
Mhm.
unfortunately, Michelle, and here's another thing. Michelle didn't get beat, right? Like this was a fight, and Michelle gave it her all. And much respect to my girl Shelly. Have so much love for my friend Michelle. She killed it. It wasn't enough, but she went out fighting. She went out scrapping. And yeah, ultimately, Cassidy got 6 out of 6. Cassidy took it home, aka Crassity. She did her thing, and another amazing and exciting episode, in my opinion.
Yeah, sad to see Michelle go. She is not only is she a good friend of ours, she's a fun competitor to watch. So it sucks to see her go. This is a way that the Desi um Desi Michaela Chanel alliance, it's like I'm seeing them weaken the Tory power little by little by little. It's like y'all been acting like you're scared of Tory, and y'all have essentially crippled this woman to just being one person now. And y'all are this force. And yeah, you got Cassidy in the mix. She's strong and she's like this lone wolf. And yeah, it was sad to see Michelle go. Lots of credit to Cassidy for getting another dub down there. What a
We see you,
beast.
Cassidy. Right. We see you, Crassity. She ain't to be played with. But again, it makes me excited for next week's episode. The final has to be around the corner.
Yep.
And so you can keep it here locked at the challenge breakdown, where the coverage is with us and not in a text message.
I'm texting you, Brice.
Anyway, but this has been this week's challenge breakdown. Make sure you subscribe to the Wendeezy YouTube channel. Not only subscribe, give this video a thumbs up. Let us know in the comments what you think. Make sure anywhere that you stream your podcast, you subscribe to the Purple Pants podcast in this Purple Network. And we will be back next week because this has been your challenge. Wendeezy, what?
Breakdown.
It's Brice and Wend with the challenge breakdown. It's Brice and Wend with the challenge breakdown. It's Brice and Wend with the challenge breakdown.